So this is a continuation video to the previous two videos where we have covered the while loop and do while loop. And in this particular video, we'll be covering the for loop. Now let us understand the basic syntax of for loop. For that, you can simply consider a variable name and let us, provide a value to this name, something like coding hub. And after this, you can have your for loop. You can say for I in name, and then you can simply print the value of I. Okay, and you can also specify the value of end, and I'll be saying that I want to specify just empty character. Okay, and now if we compile this code, we'll be getting this coding hub. Right now, how are we getting this coding hub? So what this loop is doing is that it is basically picking a character from this name at a time, and then it is initializing that value to this I, and then we are basically printing that I. So for the first time, it will take C as it is the starting character. It will put it in this I. Now I is having C. Now we are printing I, which is basically consisting of C. Hence we are getting C. Now it will take this O. Then it will initialize it to I. Then I will be printed, which is basically O. Then D. Then I. Then N. Then G. Then the space. Then H. Then U. And then hub. So this is how we are getting this coding hub. Now let us understand more. Now, for loop is not limited to just iterating through the iterables. We can also have something like this. We can say for I in range, and let us specify a range of 1 to 10. And then we can simply say print, and then we can basically print a value, something like I. Okay. And if we do so, we'll be getting numbers from 1 to 9. Now, what is happening over here? So in this range, what will happen? I will pick a value from here. Now the range will basically have the starting value from 1, and it will go till 10 minus 1, which is basically 9. So 10 is basically the termination condition. Now what is a termination condition? A termination condition is a condition at which loop get exited, or we say the loop get break. Okay, so at 10, when the value of I reaches 10, this loop will get exited, or we can say get break. Okay, now the range will exist from 1 to 9. Hence, if we compile the code, we'll be getting the value from 1 to 9. Okay, so now let us focus on to the next thing, and let us see how you can iterate through sequences. For that, let us comment this out for now, and then we can say iterate through sequences. Okay, now over here, what we are going to do is that we will be iterating through a list. Okay, now let us consider a list. Now the list name will be fruits, and let us have, fruits in this particular list. So we can say apple, then, we can have banana, and then we can have another fruit. Let us name it as orange. Okay, and now what we can say, we can simply say for fruit in fruits. Okay, and then we can basically print this fruit. Okay, now if we say fruit, and now if we compile this code, we'll be getting this 3 fruits, which is apple, banana, and orange. So this is the same thing as it was happening in the string. So what is happening? This fruit variable will be basically initialized one by one with the values of these fruits. So for the first time, this fruit will be having this apple, and so we'll be printing that apple. Then it will have banana, so we'll be getting banana, and then we'll be having this orange in this fruit, and hence we'll be getting this orange. Now let us comment this out also for now. Now we'll be covering the advanced control structure. In this part, we'll be covering the break and continue statements. Now to see how break and continue statements work, let us consider a list of numbers, and let us have a value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, to this list. Now we can simply say for num in numbers, and then we can basically say if num equals 3, then we'll say break. Otherwise, what we'll be doing will be basically after this we can print the values. So we can say print num. Now what this break statement do? Now the break statement works in a very simple way. Wherever this break statement will be anchored by a loop, that time that loop will get break. Okay, so that loop will get exited, so it will not continue iteration after that point. So here we are basically saying that whenever the number reaches 3, what you have to do, you have to simply break this for loop. So what it will do, it will be basically exiting out from this for loop. So if we compile this code, we'll be getting this 1, 2 only, and we'll be not getting the remaining values 3, 4, and 5. The reason is, as soon as the num will be initialized with this value of 3, this condition will become true, and hence this break condition, or we can say the statement, will get triggered. And as soon as this break condition or statement get triggered, this loop will get exited. Okay, now let us see how continue works. So continue is a different thing, and continue basically is used to skip a particular iteration. So for this, what we can say for num in numbers. Okay, and this time we can say if num equals 3, then do one thing, you continue, and then we can have the same thing like print, and we can say num. Now what this continue statement will do is, when this num will be initialized with this 3 value, then this condition will get triggered as the num equals 3 condition will become true, and hence this continue statement will get triggered, and this continue will basically skip anything which will be below this continue statement, and it will skip that for that particular iteration. Hence we'll be not getting this 3, but we'll be getting the 4 and 5. If we compile this code, we'll be getting this 1, 2, 4, 5, but we are not getting this 3. So you can basically use this break and continue statement as per your need, as per your logic. And let us focus on to the next thing, and where we'll be basically covering the list comprehension. Now to start with this, what we can do, we can comment this out also. So we can select this and we can simply say Control/. Now after this, what we can do, we can simply come down and we can say that list comprehension. Now list comprehension is a very powerful tool, and it can be used in multiple ways. The main advantage of list comprehension is that it basically helps us to initialize a list in a much faster and in a much easier way. So let us suppose you want to create a list of squared numbers. So how you'll be doing it? So you will be basically squaring each number from a particular start to end, right? So let us do that. So we can say squared numbers, and then we can basically initialize it to a list. Here we can basically say x to the power 2, and then after this we can say for x in range 1, 6. Now what will be happening over here? So this x will be initialized with the value from this range from start to end. So this range will be basically having value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at 6 it will get terminated. So it will have the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now for the first time, this x will be initialized with a value of 1. Hence 1 to the power 2 will be 1, and the squared numbers will have its first list value, which will be 1. Now this x will be updated with 2. Now this 2 to the power 2 will basically give us 4. Similarly, this will happen till 5, and hence the squared numbers list will be filled. Okay. Now we can simply come down and we can say print, and we can say squared numbers. And now if we compile this code, we'll be getting the squared numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can see how much beneficial it is, and how you can basically achieve much difficult tasks in a much easier way. Let us suppose you have to basically, find out squared numbers of up to, let us say 1000, okay? And you want to store them in a list. Now doing it in any other language, programming language, will be basically too much complex, but Python has made it much easier by using the list comprehension. So we can even have something like 1000, and still we'll be getting all the squared numbers till 1000. Okay, so it is like too much awesome, and you can use this powerful tool in a much better fashion. Okay, so now let us jump into the next part where we'll be basically covering the nested for loop. So for this, I'll be selecting this and commenting this out again. And now we can come down and we can say nested loop. Now, what is a nested loop? So it can be easily understood by a nest. Okay, now a nest basically have multiple threads, upon one another. So this is like that. What is happening over here? We are basically having a loop inside another loop. For this, let us consider a simple example. We can say for I in range, and let us specify the range 1 to 6. Hence, we'll be getting the value 1 to 5. Now we can say for j in range, again 1 to 6. Okay, and then what we can do, we can have a space over here for much better understanding and readability. Now after this, what we can do, we can simply say print I multiply by j. Okay, and then we can basically specify the end, and we can, specify this end with /t, which will basically provide 8 consecutive spaces. And then we can basically print a value, or we can say a new line. Okay, so we'll be requiring a new line for here. Now, if we compile this code, we'll be getting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we are basically trying to get the, the tables of each of the numbers. Okay, so this is all for loop, and in our upcoming videos, we'll be bringing more challenging problems, which will basically help you to grasp and sharpen your knowledge about loops. Till then, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you never miss any upcoming update from us. Till then, have a great coding journey ahead.